Good evening, it is Matt Rogers. It is now the 18th of January 2025. A Neptune-sized planet, denser than steel, has been discovered by an international team of astronomers who believe its composition could be the result of a giant planetary clash. Okay folks, these astronomers have found this dark object of a mass almost twice of that of other similar sized planets, and its density is incredibly high, meaning that it's made up of larger fractions of rock than it would be typically to be expected at that scale. Senior researcher and co-author Dr. Phil Carter from the University of Bristol Schools of Physics explained, "We have a strong and also evidence of highly energetic collisions between planetary bodies in our solar system, such as the existence of Earth's moon, and a good evidence that some number of other exoplanets are being sighted through our telescopes. We also know that there is a huge diversity of planets and exoplanet systems. Many have also with the orbits in our solar system, but often the masses of these compositions between that of the rocky planets of Neptune, Uranus, and the ice giants." They also state, "Our contribution to the study was a model extreme giant impacts and could potentially remove the lighter atmosphere and water, ice from the original larger planet in order to produce the extreme density measured." They also found the initial planetary body would likely be needed to be rich in water and suffer the extreme giant impacts at a speed of greater than 75 kilometers in order to produce this exoplanet to be observed. These planets provide more new evidence towards giant impacts in formations of planets throughout the galaxy. The discovery helps to connect the theories for the planet formations based on the solar system for the formations of exoplanets. The discovery for this extreme planet provides new insights into the formation towards evolution of planetary systems. Postgraduate student and co-author Peter Miles stated, "The planet is very surprising. Normally, we expect planets forming with such rocky to become gas giants like Jupiter, which have denser similar to water. This strange exoplanet 1853b is the size of Neptune, but its density higher than steel. Our work shows," this is what they explain, "that this can happen in a planet experiencing extremely energetic planet collisions during its information." Now the team planned detailed follow-up observations of T853b to attempt to detect this atmosphere to examine its composition. Associate Professor and co-author Dr. Zoe Valansky concluded and stated, "We had not previously investigated of such extreme giant impacts, as they are not something we had expected. There is so much work to be done, improve the material models and underlie our simulations, and to extend the range of extreme giant impact modeled." The simulations were performed using the consumption of facilities of the Advanced Computing Research Centre, University of Bristol. Funders include the Science and Technology Facilities Council and the China Scholarship Council. Okay folks, so indeed thank you for listening to this short piece of evidence of new giant planet evidence of possible planetary collisions. See, again folks, when we look at pieces of information, new up-to-date news of those in the scientific community explaining using technology, zooming in to identify these exoplanets in space, they explain there is thousands of these multiple planets, even in our solar system folks, giant space bodies that are not orbiting a sun like our Earth and other known heavenly bodies. New information has come through as well folks. Thousands of exoplanets have been discovered since the 1990s, including hot Jupiters, super Earths, and other types of alien worlds. Indeed, we all know our known heavenly bodies in our solar system, like Mother Earth, which we all live on, and also Jupiter, exoplanets that orbit stars other than the Sun and also exist outside the solar system. The word exoplanet diverses the term extrasolar planet, which hints of the existence beyond the influence of our star. Prior to the 1990s, humanity has never observed and also showed a long time ago to be able to pick up exoplanets. See, exoplanets beyond our solar system could not confirm such worlds existed. In more than 3 decades since the first discovery of an exoplanet, the establishment, space agencies, exoplanet catalogue has even risen. As from now in 2025, the exoplanet catalogue contains over 5,500 confirmed exoplanets and almost 10,000 additional candidate exoplanets as now. They also stated as well, and this is not brought up through the news media, that these rogue planets that do not orbit a star have been swallowed up by the Sun, our own Sun, the Soul. Large celestial bodies the size of Jupiter. Okay, so exoplanets are orbit in so-called habitable zones, regions around their star where it's not too hot or even not too cold to sustain liquid water. They're targets for research for life outside the solar system. Think about this, folks. Can life survive on exoplanets? That depends on the exoplanet. The chances of life existing on an exoplanet is significantly greater than the planet exists in the habitable zone of its star. Astronomers are currently becoming aware of the possibility of these strange worlds. These planets are dominated by liquid oceans and could hang on to liquid water outside standard habitable zones, and widening the potential around the star of which life could exist. These bodies, these space planets, exoplanets, are towards the further reaches of our solar system. That means by travelling constantly at top speed and assuming of no diversions, it would take a spaceship, a spacecraft, over 1 billion hours to reach an exoplanet. That is more than 114,000 years. So until the inventions of speed of light, travel and suspended animation, it is not possible to travel to an exoplanet. The thing is, could an exoplanet head towards us, a rogue planet that doesn't orbit a star? Think about that, folks. Some kind of huge object that's unknown, a mysterious body lurking in our solar system, heads our way, could cause a massive destruction. So indeed, Mother Earth is just smoothly moving around its orbit around the Sun in the solar system. Something could easily come by us, folks. Something that could cause a huge pole shift. A strange, mysterious planet. See again, over 5,500 exoplanets have been discovered so far, with further 9,900 suspected exoplanets awaiting confirmation. All this has happened since 1992, and these numbers are likely to change frequently. Fortunately, the space agency's exoplanet catalogue is updated continuously, so you can check it out as well. Update list of the number of exoplanets discovered. One thing that has become very clear in humanity's exploration of exoplanets in planets come in as much wider range and categories that could be seen in our solar system. Meaning, when we speak about Neptune and Uranus, something of a huge object towards the further reaches of our solar system, that couldn't be Pluto, it is too small. These large space bodies in our solar system are being pulled back and forth by a larger frequency of magnitude. What is out there, folks? Think about it, because more and more information of exoplanets are being targeted, calculated, all the way from the 1990s up to now 2025. These wandering Earth-sized objects, or even bigger, lurking in space. I'd like to state as well that these exoplanets, or strange heavenly bodies in our solar system, are more and more easier to indeed identify than just around about 10 to 15 years ago. it was really hard to detect with a telescope of any planet-sized object that was unknown towards our solar system. While our planetary system hosts relatively ordered systems of terrestrial planets like Earth gas giants, like Jupiter ice giants, like Neptune and dwarf planets, like Pluto exoplanets, are more diverse and more disordered. Even back in the day, the Hubble telescope above the Earth's atmosphere was pointing out towards space, could pick up super Earths. It was all recorded through documentaries as well. And now, even to 2025, with the technology of the WISE telescope and also other technology that is magnified into space, they're picking up multiple upon multiple planets in the thousands. Again, if one of these exoplanets or a mysterious rogue planet comes very close towards our solar system, heading towards our orbit of our world, the Earth, it will cause a huge catastrophe, a crustal pole shift. Even hot Jupiters are gas giant exoplanets that orbit closer to their stars and complete the full orbit in just a few days, like Earth. The hot in hot Jupiter refers to the proximity of these planets to their stars, which can lead to the soaring surface temperatures. The Jupiter is the name referred to the fact that these worlds have a size and mass that are most compatible to Jupiter, that they can be many times more massive or even just a fraction of its mass and size. The proximity to their star can cause hot Jupiters to puff out huge diameters while making them incredibly light in terms of density. Some of the lightest exoplanets ever found are hot Jupiters. Hot Jupiters' size and proximity to the stars also create greater effects to these stars, meaning they will easily be using the radical velocity of transit methods. This means of the exoplanet catalogue of its heavily and disproportionately weighted in favour of hot Jupiters. There is nothing like a hot Jupiter in our solar system. Some evidence suggests that these planets may form further out, like Jupiter and Saturn, in our own solar system, then migrate closer to other stars. See, when we speak of rogue planets, wandering stars lurking through our solar system, they are the dangerous ones, because these hot Jupiters overlap the following categories of exoplanets. For example, of these worlds are found close to their own stars. There is other forms of exoplanets in space. Terrestrial exoplanets are roughly Earth-sized worlds outside the solar system that are composed of rock, water and carbon. These other objects as well, the bulk of composition of these worlds to dominate by rock and iron. They can have either a solid or liquid surface. According to the space agencies, a deeper investigation of these exoplanets is required to determine if they have atmospheres or oceans. Perhaps, folks, unsurprisingly, as Earth is only a planet we are aware of a host of life, these worlds are major targets in our hunt for life beyond the solar system. Super Earths, alternatively known as mini Neptunes, are planets that are up to twice the size of Earth and have up to 10 times the mass of our planet, meaning they are larger of terrestrial planets but smaller than ice giants and gas giants. Super Earths don't necessarily have the terrestrial planets that they can be, indeed gas giants. Neptune-like exoplanets or Neptunian exoplanets are worlds similar to the size of Neptune and Uranus, around 4 times the mass of Earth and around 17 times the mass of Neptunian worlds, are thought to have mixed interiors of heavy metals and also their cores. Neptune-sized worlds are a mystery to astronomers because so few have been discovered close to the stars. This lacks of hot Neptunes with orbits of around 4 days or less has become to be known as hot Neptunian desert. One suggestion and reason for this could be that if the planet does have a lot of mass, the radiation from their stars easily strips their atmospheres, quickly turning potential hot Neptunes into super Earths. Now indeed, this is the one to worry about, the deadly planets. The astronomers and also the space agency are tracking these planets very closely, monitoring them across the solar system and also to the further reaches of our solar system. This is an incredible object, folks. Rogue planets, also known as isolated planetary mass objects and free floating objects, planets. There are worlds outside the solar system that are not gravitationally bound to stars. That means that they just lurk and wander the Milky Way alone without any parent star. Dark objects, something again that could lurk into our solar system, causing havoc, chaos, something of a huge pole shift. It's happened before, folks. Evidence of showing that Pluto has been knocked out of its orbit. The orbits of known heavenly bodies in our solar system, something of a collision. One plausible explanation of rogue planets is that they form in planetary systems and then flung out away by the gravitational interactions of other planets in the same system or by encounters with another star system, a less plausible but still valuable and viable formation mechanisms in that rogue planets form on their own outside planetary systems. Again, these exoplanets are very tricky and dangerous because unlike stars, they don't emit their own light. So all of a sudden, even pointing the camera at night time towards a solar system, the majority of the time you won't be able to pick up an object of an exoplanet because it's jet black. So indeed, of an exoplanet that is stuck in the orbit of the Earth in our solar system would indeed be incredibly dangerous, or at least not enough to help locate them. This means that most techniques of exoplanet hunters who used also discover exoplanets are related to spotting the effects of a planet has on its parent star. Now indeed, these objects are indeed lurking in space, folks. They can go anywhere they wish. So please look out towards the heavens, it's so important. The scientific community use infrared and also the SPD telescope down at the South Pole in Antarctica, the radio frequency telescope, to detect cool stars and also objects that are pitch black in space. I mean, just like you can see on the screen of the diagram that I produced of the size of an exoplanet towards Earth, if this object was in the orbit of the Earth, we could be in some deep trouble of a huge crustal pole shift. See, the method to detect exoplanets, the radio velocity method, according to the European Space Agency, this technique works because of the mass of the orbits of the star, the planetary system mass, and mass located within the star, as it is indeed of more mass than its planet. Using the technology to zoom into these objects to know where the location of these objects are. The other way they use to detect these exoplanets, if one gets very close to Earth, is this center of gravity is located off center within the star, causing the star to wobble back and forth ever so slightly because the wavelengths of sound or light are squashed as the source moves towards the observer and then stretch as the source moves away, known as the Doppler effect. Astronomers can observe the measurements of a wobble of a close neighboring rogue object very close to Earth. Okay, these exoplanets detection is currently the transit method, which works by measuring tiny dips in light from the star caused by the planet's moves across its face, the transit of the star between the star and Earth. These exoplanets, smaller bodies, have slammed into Jupiter for many years that have passed. They also explain as well, the scientific community, that these exoplanets move like comets, just like the Chilean astronomer explained in a Channel 4 documentary in 1994, Hercules, that is a planet-sized object that moves like a comet. See, the data detected during transit can be used to determine the exoplanet's orbit and size, Plus, by looking at the light passing through the planet's atmosphere, astronomers can investigate the composition of the gas around it. That means that the modern era of exoplanet investigations during the scientific analysis are delving deeper into exoplanet atmospheric areas than ever before, hunting for biosignatures, elements that are vital to life and traces of living processes. Folks, will they ever tell us that there is a huge planet that has entered our solar system, an unknown, lurking, mysterious object? Will they tell the public? Also, to detect these wandering stars, these wandering planets, few phenomena are more useful to astronomers than gravitational lensing, first predicted by Einstein in 1915. Theory of general relativity. Gravitational lensing happens when a path of light curves as it travels past a warp in space and time. Okay, let's look at this logically. When light from a background object passes a massive object, like lensing body, between its Earth, its path is diverted, resulting in the brightening of the background source, a shift of the apparent position of that source, or in extreme cases, the appearance of the background source in multiple places in the same image. Folks, through this video, these methods can be really useful for the discovery of a rogue exoplanet which lack parent stars, because the sighting when the warp of light of other background stars. See, they call it direct imaging. See, again, as of November of 2024, just 96 exoplanets have been spotted the old-fashioned way, with direct imaging. Why is this, you may think? Because the Space Agency explains that the light from the planet's parent star overwhelms the planet by a factor of over 1 million. So indeed, thank you for listening to this short video. I'm going to come back to you because tonight is a very cloudy night, so I wasn't able to manage to take the telescope out to point towards other strange objects in space. But I've seen the weather information that tomorrow night, on Sunday, is going to be very, very clear. So I'm going to produce some work to pick up some very, very strange captures of space, produce them onto video for our community to see of these objects in space, planets, other formations and entities, anomalies. Please come back to me, and also please subscribe to this channel. Have a fantastic weekend from Matt Rogers.